Alright, cool. So after hitting that launch button on Anaconda Navigator, it'll start Jupyter Notebooks on your default directory. So what you'll then have to do is scroll to the folder where your files are at, and yeah, basically this is the directory that I want to work from, because this is where my files are at. And you can do a number of things from this this. You can do like a lot of cool stuff here at Jupyter Notebooks. First of all, you can upload your own files. um, you can see the number of terminals and notebooks that are running, but currently we have nothing running. But quickly, let's come back here. So this is how you would create a Jupyter notebook in Jupyter. You can also create a folder. Just a quick tip with this one, because it took me a long time to figure it out on how to rename this folder. So what you have to do is you select the folder, the buttons will pop up there, whether you want to delete, move, or rename it, and you just hit rename and change the name to da. Now you can change the name to data, and voila, there you go. So but like what we want to do now is create a Jupyter notebook, right? And you've heard of Jupyter notebooks, I assume. This is what it looks like. This is right here. You finished with the coding. I'm just kidding. Right now it's a bit empty. From the drop down button you can select markdown, you can select Python code. It's up to you, but we're gonna do markdown later on. So for now we're just gonna leave it at Python. You have different buttons with different functions. This is how you save your checkpoint. Like whenever you've done finish writing code, you can save a checkpoint there. Alternatively, you can wait for Jupyter Notebook to save it after every 5 minutes. You can add a new cell underneath this one. You can cut a cell. I don't think you can cut this one because it's the only one. You insert the cell and then you can cut it. You can copy cells and then you can paste cells. You can let me add a cell real quick. You can move the cell on top of the other one. You can move it back like that. This is where you would execute your code, and this is where you would kill the kernel, like meaning you stop, you shut the whole cookie business down. So with that introduction, I think let's get down to importing files in Jupyter Notebooks. Before we get there though, I'm gonna rename this file real quick. Since we're importing files, I'm just gonna call it importer. Yeah, importer. Okay, cool. So yeah, in Python, before you use packages, right? Like we want to import files that have different formats, CSVs and Excels, and we want them to come into Python in a format that it's appealing to the eyes, um, something resembling an Excel table, right? So for that function, we're gonna use Pandas. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by importing Pandas, and you can see Pandas. Um, you're just gonna import Pandas as PD. While we import it as PD, you will see, because we just assigning Pandas a shorthand name PD, that will come in handy later on. And you can just press Shift Enter, or you can run there, or alternatively you can say Alt Enter. It will create a new cell below. That's a quick tip again. So now that we have Pandas installed, we're gonna import the first data set, which is the Excel. Yeah, we're gonna start with the Excel. So we're gonna say PD instead of Pandas. You're using the method read Excel, right? Now we're gonna give it the name. Another quick tip: I know that all of my file names to start with F, so I'm just gonna press FE and then tab to autocomplete. Now I have February sales Excel. I have February sales for CSV. I'm just gonna click that one because I want to import that Excel file right now. And then I'm gonna say she, tab to autocomplete. It wants the sheet name. This is the argument for the sheet name. I've renamed the sheet name to February, and then shift enter. Everything should run smoothly. So now we're gonna call head off of the data that we've called just to check the first 5 rows of the data set. Alt enter, and then voila, just like that you have imported an Excel spreadsheet into Python in a usable format. Now we're gonna import the CSV. CSV is a little easier than all of that other stuff that's happening there with the Excel. You can name it whatever you want, data 2, data frame, whatever. Instead of saying pandas again, we say PD, because remember we've assigned PD shorthand to pandas. So we're gonna say PD method read CSV, and I've named all my files fab. So I'm just gonna autocomplete like that. And now there's a lot of stuff there, but I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for February sales.csv, and I'll enter. Let me call head off of it. I'll enter, and just like that, you have imported the CSV. Now, because these the two data sets, they're not that long. It's a data that I created for some company, right? You can just press the data here. Here we have about 27 rows. You cannot do this with a million rows or how many, however, that right. I created this data set for a company. Let's just say they sell juice, like you know, like cups of juice, right? And these are sales for February. You have the number of the entry here. We have the date on which the entry was recorded. We have the day of the week. We have the temperature and the number of units sold. Right, you can see we have nans here for the temperature, but we'll fix that later on. So yeah, basically this is it. You have imported two files into Python.